Hey everyone, welcome to Fire Emblem 3... What is it? Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This is my review of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Man, what a very great name, am I right guys? Super easy to just read out loud. Very awesome. Yeah, today I'll be reviewing the game, of course. Disclaimer, this review will be spoiler-free! Yay! Because I'm not gonna talk about much. I'm just gonna be talking about things vaguely. And also, if you're expecting to see some funny clips of me dying or some shit, or you're expecting to see some gameplay while I'm talking, well, joke's on you. Let's just say that you're just gonna be seeing my face, you know, when I'm gonna be reviewing this. So yeah, and also there's gonna be no script. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So, you know, when first picking up this game, I feel like the biggest change, and obviously the most noticeable change, right, is, you know, the gameplay, right? The gameplay is much different from Three Houses. It is actually not even gameplay that is original to Three Houses. It's actually the gameplay comes from the Warriors franchise. Apparently, like Dynasty Warriors and fucking Hyrule Warriors, some shit like that. So, and there's even like Fire Emblem Warriors. So, like from the Warriors aspect, yeah, that's where the gameplay comes from. You know, that's why it's Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes instead of Fire Emblem 3 Hopes. You know what I mean? Because the gameplay is not originally from, you know, Fire Emblem. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I gotta say, I do appreciate the action-packed gameplay. This is my first Warriors game, my first hack and slash, and I will say, wow, this is something very unique, something very special. Very action-packed, very crazy. Like the amount of like enemies that you fight, the amount of damage, the amount of havoc that you create when playing these characters. They're very like, it's very chaotic, it's very crazy, it's very tense, and it's very exciting, you know, playing these characters. And they just do, like, you see the number, like, you do 2 million damage, and I'm like, whoa, yo, feeling like a powerful isekai man, you know, coming out and dashing level 99 spells. You know, that's how you feel. You feel like an overpowered protagonist in an anime. You know, you feel powerful, you feel strong, you feel like you destroying entire armies. You know, Overlord, right? You know that scene where, you know, he destroys entire army with his like fucking little tentacle monsters and shit. Like basically you feel like that, except you're the one controlling the tentacle monsters, destroying fucking gazillion fucking, you know, mobs and fucking enemies and shit. It's so like fucking all over the place, but at the same time it's in a good way. It's in a good way. There are other reviews talking about how the gameplay, talking more in depth about the gameplay, and while I'm not gonna be talking much about that, because if you want a more in-depth review of the gameplay for Warriors 3 Hopes, I'm sorry, son. I'm not gonna give you that much, but I will talk about some more notable stuff. Like, for example, there are certain classes that I prefer much using. Like, I prefer, like, as a beginner Warriors, you know, a beginner Warriors fan, I guess. My first ever hack and slash. I mean, the MC that they use, Shez, like his moveset and his weapon, I guess his weapon selection, the fact that he's a dual blades character, dual blades, Kirito, you know, all that funny shenanigans. He's the easiest to use, and it really makes it really fun. I really love all the melee classes. I don't really like the mage classes too much. I feel like I'm not able to like delete as many characters. I'm not really good with mages, but I love all the melee characters, especially like all the sword characters are really nice. Axes, sometimes I can do massive damage, other times I just feel like, not really. I really love the Cavalier, the Cavalier class. You know, the guys on horses. I really like that shit. Flying classes, I haven't tried much except for like the wyverns and shit. You get to fly in the air and fucking do big boy damage. I don't like flying classes that much either in terms of gameplay. I mean, they have their own uses, right? They have like there's advantages to using each class and classes, and there are disadvantages for using like using that particular class. You know, that's kind of like the whole type and type advantage and disadvantage thing is kind of like from Fire Emblem Three Houses, but you know, yeah, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate all the different like classes and stuff. Some classes they kind of feel the same. Other classes they're more unique and more diverse, and that's something to keep in mind. You know, the weapon system is it's very simple. It's very easy to understand. Just fucking when you forge a weapon, you basically just upgrade it. When you repair a weapon, you repair a weapon. You can find many strong weapons that help boost your characters. Overall, it's pretty cool. Then you can also eat to get buffs and shit like that. I mean, like I said, if you want a more in-depth review of the gameplay, I mean, there are better channels for that. I'm just saying, overall, the gameplay is very solid, very awesome. Let's talk about the visuals and the sound. Visually, the game is very impressive. I think, yeah, the 3D models definitely look much better than Three Houses, obviously. Yeah. And, you know, character-wise, you know, the designs look really nice. They're very similar to the, you know, pre-time skips of Three Houses, but also they can be very different, you know what I mean? Some characters look the same, other characters don't look the same, you know? Characters from Three Houses that, you know, got the time skip, some of their models, you know, look a little different, but others look kind of the same. But you know, overall, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting to see like, oh, what if universe? Oh, okay, so characters have a time skip. In this universe is 2 years, and this is what they would look like after 2 years of war, right? And this is like in Three Houses, you basically see designs. Oh, 5 years before they start the war. This is what they would look like. And yeah, I think the character designs look amazing. The models look great. And overall, yeah, I do appreciate the aesthetic look. I mean, it's very similar, obviously, to Three Houses, but it's got its own distinguished style. Mostly the fact that, you know, you're basically outside for the most part. You're not at school. You know, you're basically at camp, which is very nice scenery. And I like how the camp always like changes like places and shit. Instead of always being at the monastery, you know, you always move places. Like if you're traveling to the Adrestrian Empire, you know, you camp out there. You go to Fargus area, you camp at Fargus, or you camp at the Alliance area, you camp at Alliance. And it's very cool. It's very nice touch of detail. You know, very nice touch. And you know, in addition to all that, like, beautiful character designs and all that, they had new characters like Shez, the MC, I guess the fathers of, like, you know, of the students, like, fucking Bernie's dad, fucking, Casper's dad, fucking Lionheart's dad. I mean, I played the Scarlet Blaze route. I played the Red House route, so those are the ones I've saw. Yeah, it's been 2 routes now, right? It's been 2 routes now. First, I picked the Black Eagles Silver Snow route in Three Houses, and now I picked the Scarlet Blaze route. Yeah, if I ever do play the other routes, I'll definitely consider that. But for right now, we're sticking Black Eagles all the way, I suppose. Yeah, Lamau. Yeah, a lot of new characters and a lot of old ones. Yeah, and overall, I appreciate the new additions to the new characters. They look awesome. They look great. And, you know, sound design, even like what is it? Is this a spoiler or no spoiler? Well, you know what? This is not really a spoiler. Belaith, right? The protagonist. Or antagonist. I mean, it depends on how you look at him, right? Three Houses, he was the protagonist, but in Three Hopes, he's a bad boy. He's a bad big boy, or a girl, yes, or girl, or big bad booty girl, or normal girl. I mean, I don't know really. I mean, it really depends on how you how you view the Ashen Demon, but Yeah, like, I love the fact that, you know, they have voices and shit, like, even for the antagonist of this game, because literally in Three Houses, he was just this silent MC that just kind of, like, just sat there and just kind of like, you see, the reason why I'm actually retarded and the reason why I have no emotions is because I'm actually the reincarnate goddess. Goddess. I'm basically the goddess, but you know, a human. That's why I don't speak, because I have no emotions. I'm like, come on, man. Like, why the fuck is he just like? He's just like a silent, brooding fucking dude that just kind of just stand out in the background, right? He just, Belaith never felt, you know, like an actual character when you were playing him, but now he actually does. He has voice lines and shit. Now he's like, he's actually cool, you know? And when you're fighting him, he's actually got emotion. Not really, but he's actually got, you know, flavor to him. You know, he's actually got a personality. That personality would be, you know, cold and fucking, you know, distant from everybody, but I mean, at least a personality for once, not just a fucking side to him, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's also really cool. I love Shez, you know, the main character. I thought I wouldn't like him. I thought I would be a Belaith simp, but I mean, Shez is also pretty cool. I like Shez. Shez has a lot more vibrant personality. He's very outgoing. He's very, you know, he's very warm. He's very cool. You know, he's very open with everybody. He's like the opposite of Belaith, and I can appreciate that so much. I think I should prefer Shez over Belaith as the MC, even though Belaith is the OG and, you know, always best boy. But Shez, I do appreciate him a lot. I do like him as MC. All the new characters I do appreciate as well. But obviously the MC and the antagonist I have to mention because, you know, of course, why not, right? Why not? Why not? Like, that's the biggest draw, right? You come into this game thinking, oh, you're playing as Belaith, but no, you're playing as a different guy fighting Belaith. It's kind of like, oh. I mean, that was in the teasers, right? That was in the teasers. That was like the biggest draw. That's what people were like, oh, the protagonist being the antagonist? Oh, wow. And, you know, it's just kind of like, yeah, like that's a pretty cool change. Like, that's a pretty cool, you know, that's a pretty cool side of things. That's a pretty cool perspective, you know? So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that was pretty cool. Alright, and yeah, and also in music, right? In music, music-wise, they've basically remastered all of, like, the good shit from Three Houses, but they basically made it more action-packed. They remixed some of the songs to make it more, you know, action-packed. I keep saying action-packed, but more thrilling and more exciting. While the other songs in Three Houses, they're more like, you know, set the tone of the game and, you know, keep you in a intense, but also in a more calculating and a more strategic feel. You want to feel strategic, more calculating. You want to feel more in the zone, ready to, you know, fight the enemy, right? But in this game, the music really gives you a sense of, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up. Ah! If Three Houses is like, okay, man, this music's helping me, like, okay, like, you know, oh, we should do this, do that, do that, do that, you know. Oh, and move this character here, move this character there, you know. In Three Houses, like, ah, I want to beat this crap out of you. That's what the music gives off, you know. Like, it's more exhilarating vibe and shit like that. And I can really appreciate that. I can really appreciate the remixes. Also, they have original tunes, which I do appreciate as well. Overall, like, the music category doesn't disappoint. I really much appreciate it. I really love the music. You know what I mean? In any game, if the music's awesome, then I really like the game. So we talked about gameplay, we talked about visuals, we talked about sound and music, and obviously voices and shit like that. Voice acting. Voice acting is still really good. In fact, it's even better than last time. You know what I mean? Because, like, even the MC has voice acting, which is like, not MC. Yes, the MC has voice acting, which is awesome. But also, the MC of the other game has voice acting, which is like, oh, yeah. Voice acting, awesome. Very awesome. However, yeah, that's you guys are noticing, okay, so we talked about all that. Let's talk about the story of the game. Yeah, as I said earlier, I played Scarlet Blaze. Very cool, very poggers. That's one of the 3 routes for Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. What did I think of the route that I played in? I'm gonna say this much. Overall, like, it's... I don't know, man. I don't know. Overall, I don't like it. And some of you will be like, oh, Austin, what the fuck's wrong with you? This is what happens when you play fucking Silver Snow. When you play Silver Snow as your first route, this is what happens. Your fucking brain just rots, and you can't appreciate, like, the good routes and stuff. And first of all, I mean, I love Silver Snow. I mean, that's the only route I ever played, and, you know, I'm too lazy to play the other routes, because it took me 40 hours to beat, you know, one route. I'm not gonna play the other 3 other routes. I'm gonna die. But second, it's not even about like routes or whatever, right? It's just talking about like overall, like you know, feel of the game and shit like that. And once again, you know, you could be like, Austin, I mean, you're spouting out shit. I don't even understand you right now. Like what the fuck you're talking about? And hear me out, guys. Hear me out. I don't want to do any comparing, but you know, obviously in both games, right? 3 Houses lore-wise and fucking 3 Hopes-wise, you know, the Academy phase was kind of like the prologue, right? Oh shit, that's spoilers for 3 Houses. Well, you know what? Fuck it. This is not 3 Houses review. This is a fucking 3 Hopes review. So, in 3 Houses, the Academy phase was, like, pretty much kind of like the prologue. Everything was kind of the same, you know? But, you know, you get to really build a connection with the students and shit like that. You get to fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, it really wasn't, like, the Academy phase wasn't, like, great, but what made it great was that you get to interact with everybody. You know, I told you about, like, how there was, like, over, like, 4,000, 5,000 different character combinations or something like that. I mean... That was just like an estimate, but overall, like, there are like so many like different like moments and animations and scenes that you will miss if you don't like interact with everybody, and like it's just kind of like a really nice school vibe, right? Like, oh, everybody like you know, everybody gets to know each other, you know, we just have fun, it's like a high school vibe, you know, and you're just the teacher, just like helping out and just I guess putting students right next to each other so that way they can, you know, interact and stuff like that. And, you know, you see all these, like, little sides to characters that you would never see, you know what I mean, before the war phase where, you know, you go to war and, you know, it's not more about, like, character interactions, but it's more like the stake of the world, right? So if the Academy phase was, you know, just, like, discovering like the highlights of it is discovering like every side to every character in the game, then the war phase in 3 Houses is about like overall like your side like just as a whole and the unity of Fodlan, and to see how that would even be accomplished in, you know, the war phase in 3 Houses. In 3 Hopes, there is no Academy phase, which is fine, fair enough, but oh my god, that fucking... The prologue is an absolute disgusting fucking, you know, absolute disgusting way of, like, handling it. You know what I mean? Like, they did such a shit job of doing, you know, the prologue for 3 Hopes. Granted, I did watch a couple videos talking about how, you know what, even though it does seem a little bit rushed, the prologue, aka the demo of the game, is, you know, it does wrap itself really nicely, you know, like, even though it is kind of rushed, you know, it actually kind of fits with the story and stuff like that. Well, look, I agree, okay, I agree, okay, you know what, fine, like, that's good on the developers, like, for, even though, like, you know, the demo does feel a little bit rushed, even if it makes story-wise sense. If it makes sense story-wise, like, sure, fair enough, right? That's awesome. You want to skip the school phase and go into war phase throughout the entire game. fair enough, right? And you did the necessary means to make that rushed academy phase, not even a phase, but it's like the 2% academy phase, right? Because it still technically happened, you know what I mean? You did your little academy phase, and then 2 years later you pop into war. 98% of the game, and 2% of the game is, I guess, the academy phase, which barely exists. But you know what? You just might as well call it that. You might as well call it that, right? You might as well call it. I'm still gonna say it's like the academy phase, even though there is none. But it's just like so. Like, even if, yeah, the prologue was done to the best of their ability and they really wanted to jump to the war phase, I get that, but I still don't like that demo. I still don't like that prologue. I keep saying demo and prologue, like, interchangeably, but, yeah, like, yeah, you play the prologue in the demo, you know what I mean? And everything is so rushed, you don't even get that sense of getting to know the characters before, you know, the stake of Fodlan is, like, you know, the big central thing. And while, yes, you're fighting for Fodlan throughout the entire game, I mean, as an outsider who has never played, like imagine if I was an outsider and this is my first, like, experience to the Three House universe. This is my first time playing Warriors, a Warriors game, which I love. The gameplay is absolutely amazing. I love that. I love feeling overpowered and shit, but imagine if this was, like, my first time getting into the Three Houses universe in Three Hopes. Like, honestly, you don't even know any of these characters until, like, chapter 4 of the game, you know what I mean? Until outside of the prologue, you know what I mean? You don't feel attached. Like, oh, when I played Scarlet Blaze, right? When Edelgard breaks off from the church, you don't feel shit. I mean, granted, I felt something, because I'm a bit of a Rhea simp, you know? Fucking playing Silver Snow, of course, right? As a guy that's played Silver Snow a bunch. Not a bunch. I played it one time, but it took me many hours in that route, right? As that guy who played that route, you know. Like, yeah, obviously it hurt to break off from the church, and there was no Silver Snow equivalent in Three Hopes, obviously. Otherwise I would have taken it, but, you know, like, I didn't even feel, like, that bad. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if you were, like, playing as, like, as a new guy, you know, coming into Three Hopes. If Edelgard fucking just breaks off from the church, you're just like, yeah, fuck the church. Anyway, why fuck the church again? And Edelgard's like, because they're bad, you know? And, like, and we're just like, okay, I guess. Like, I'm not even saying, oh, Edelgard bad, Rhea good. You know what I mean? Like, we're not even taking that into consideration. Like, you know, in the context of Scarlet Blaze, right? Like, it doesn't matter who you side with, like, okay? Rhea or fucking Edelgard, like, it doesn't matter. The point is, you're supposed to interact with these characters and make that decision yourself. Or, if you're not going to make that decision yourself, at least give me a reason why, right? Like, okay, if you're forced to be with Edelgard, okay, sure, fair enough. At least show me the reason why the church is an asshole before breaking off. Just kind of like, church bad. And I'm like, okay, cool, fair enough. It would just all fuck off, you know? Like, really? Like, at least in, like, if you play, like, Crimson Flower or some shit like that. And before Austin mentions the other routes, spoiler warning for the other routes. Silver Snow, I think I talked about it, but I read up on the other routes and stuff like that. And, like, you know, at least you get to see, like, both sides of the coin, right? Edelgard bad, but Rhea also bad. So who do you pick, right? Who do you pick? At least, you know, when playing Scarlet Blaze, for me, right? At least give me a reason why fucking Edelgard fucking bad as well. Not Edelgard bad. I'm sorry, I'm Rhea simp side. Rhea simp of me is starting to take over. Give me a reason why the church is bad. So that way she breaks off and fucking fights the church. And also, those who slither in the dark, right? I don't... Like... Oh, did I say this was gonna be heavy? This is spoiler free? Oh, did I say that? Well, it's still the prologue anyway. It's still the prologue. I'm not gonna mention anything about those who slither in the dark, but you can guess what happens with those two. Like, not really much of an explanation. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all. That's all there is to it. Spoilers, as in past the demo. Yeah, past the demo. Spoiler free past the demo. Yeah, past the demo. Spoiler free past the demo. There you go. Because we all know Edelgard breaks off from the church anyways. Those of you who played Three Houses, Crimson Flower, or Silver Snow would realize that, yeah, Edelgard... And actually, Azure Moon and fucking Verdant Wind, okay? Edelgard always breaks off from the church. And, you know, those who slither in the dark. But in Three Hopes, you can guess that as well. You can guess that she may have done that as well. And yes, that is true. She has done that. That's not really a spoiler, because the other game basically said so. Yeah. If you guys are mad that I spoiled something, just let me down in the comments down below. Just say, Austin is an asshole. He doesn't make any fucking sense. His teeth sucks. Also, he spoils a bunch, even though he says this thing is spoiler free. I hate him now. Please unsubscribe. Just put it down below, you know? Like, you know what? Like, I don't give a fuck, man. This is just a review of the game. 30 hours into the game. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Like, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I do try to make it spoiler free, okay? Yeah. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe with it. That's my biggest gripe. It's just like, like, when Edelgard breaks off from the church, like, there's no tension. There's really is no tension, you know? You don't get to see any sides of anything. You just, at least with Three Houses, though. At least with Three Houses, like, there was tension, right? There was tension. Like, if you played the Black Eagles route, like, if you spend more time with Edelgard, you do the Crimson route. And if you like the church more, you don't like Edelgard as much, you fucking do the Silver Snow route, right? Like, overall, like you felt tension, right? Depending on who you interact with more. Like, there was tension to the game. There was like, oh shit. Oh shit. And the only reason why I did fucking Silver Snow was because, you know, Edelgard wouldn't give me more fucking tea time with her. If she let me drink tea with her more often, then I would have honestly done her route. But you know what? Fuck you. But anyway, nothing against Edelgard or anything like that. But like, you might as well, bro. You might as well, right? Like, there's no tension. Overall, though, the war phase is pretty awesome. Enough comparing Three Houses to Three Hopes, because, I mean, Three Hopes, I think, would have never been as good as Three Houses. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The story-wise, it's not as good. But, other than that, though, like, Three Hopes war phase is pretty good. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. You do get to interact and bond with the characters a bit more during, like, I guess, times in war phase. But, oh my god, I forgot to mention this. Oh, they actually cut out a lot of the support interactions. You know how I said, like, you know, basically for most characters in Three Houses, right? Like, almost every character can interact with almost every other character, right? Pretty much. Almost every other character can interact with almost every other character in Three Houses. In Three Hopes, they cut out so much bullshit. Like, even the main character doesn't get to have a conversation with everybody. And if they do, it's only 2/3, right? For example, you know, in the main game, you can interact with everybody, and, you know, at every support level, you get a conversation with them. In fucking Three Hopes, your main character, sometimes you can have an interaction at, you know, at support level C, but not for B. And then or vice versa, right? No conversation at level C, but only at B and A and shit like that. And it's just like, why? Why did they cut that out? Like, you mean there are certain characters that never meet with each other? Like, fine, fair enough, right? They never meet with each other, so, or maybe they just not, maybe canonically they're not as friends with, but at least in Three Houses, right? Every character got a chance to speak with every other character. There are some characters that only have support level C with them, right? A support level C with them. And other characters have, like, CBA, right? But, like, some characters with other characters only have support level C. I'm like, why? Why? And there are fucking support characters that have CPA, but there are no conversations. For example, there's one character that I will not mention because of spoilers. Past the demo. But, you know, yeah, spoiler-free past the demo, yeah? Past the demo. So, yeah. There's one character that you meet after the demo. You can have CBA, right? Fucking, you know, support levels and shit, but no character fucking interactions. No character even though you can have support levels for CBA, there are no fucking conversations. Like, why is that? Why is that, bro? Why is that? It's so dumb. It is so dumb. It's just so ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. And also, when you fight enemies, they always have the same fucking line, too. It's always like, oh, this defeat tastes worse than fucking coffee, or fucking flame this, flame that. I'm just like, let's not even mention the NPCs and shit. Like, fucking hell. But despite all my criticism of this story, I think it's alright. I think it's pretty good. It's just the little shit. Like, for example, the prologue, I just dislike. I don't know how it is for Azure Moon and for fucking... Not Azure Moon, Azure Gleam and fucking Golden Wildfire, or whatever. I don't know how it is, like, how much the prologue affects, like, that shit. But for Scarlet Blaze, the one I was playing through, like, it just didn't work. It just didn't work, you know what I mean? Like, I just hate that. I hate that playing Scarlet Blaze. I hate, you know, I hate the jump skip. Like, I hate the prologue transition to fucking wartime. Like, I really hate it. Wartime was awesome, though. The war phase was pretty good. I do enjoy the war phase. But why did the prologue even have to be? You might as well just delete the fucking... You might as well not even add the prologue in the first place. You might as well. That's how much I dislike the prologue. The wartime phase is fine. In fact, I actually enjoy it a lot. But it's the prologue that sucks dick. And then not to mention the support. The support levels for every character is dog shit compared to Three Houses. But that's about it. Yeah, that's about it for story-wise. Hopefully I didn't spoil much. If I did, I'm sorry. I intentionally, unintentionally spoiled it. I just, sometimes when I talk about something I'm so passionate about, I just fucking spew shit even though I don't want to spew shit. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully I didn't spoil too much, but come on. Edelgard fucking tries to capture Foldland, like, in every single fucking route. In every single fucking Three Houses related media, right? Which is, there's only 2 of. She tries to basically do that, so like, that's not really a spoiler, right? That's not really a spoiler. Like, come on now. In every fucking route, she at least attempts to fucking capture Foldland. Like, come on. Like, that's not really my fault now, is it? Alright. Well. Yeah. Okay, so my final rating. My final rating for this game. It's definitely not, it's definitely not above 90%. Definitely not. I'm gonna give it an 85%. 85%. Maybe 80%. Like, I honestly, it's definitely a fun game, but, I mean, story-wise, it is lacking. Gameplay-wise, it's fucking brilliant. Like, I see where the fucking budget's going. Because I think I love the gameplay. The gameplay's awesome. Granted, there are certain things that, you know, maybe other Warriors games have done better, maybe. But I've never played the Warriors game. I've never played any other. This is my first time playing Warriors game, so, I mean, overall wise, I love the change in gameplay, so, you know, this is my first time playing Warriors game, so I have no complaints. Like, I have no complaints, really. Fucking sound and music wise, like, it's remixed, it's done differently, it's the same feel, but it's different, which I appreciate, you know, and obviously, yeah, like, visuals, same, but different, I appreciate that. Like, everything else is really good. It's just that prologue and the fucking support conversations and the occasional enemy fucking lines. It's just really annoying. And yeah, fuck the prologue. Anyway, this has been my review. Yeah, very cool, very cool. Fire Emblem Three Houses review. Hopefully I didn't spoil too much. If I did, I'm sorry. That's about it. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.